This is important because we need direction for the LG. Make sure they are showing everything on the kiosk, all categories, colors, and extensions, not just the most popular themes or the things that you always like to show. It has to be everything because the LG is about buying whatever. There's no price involved. They don't care. They have the same clip in every color. But your job is to make sure your staff knows what to do when the LG is there. So you have to have hand signals. Make sure that there's hand signals that are used to let everyone know that you have an LG. Make sure everyone knows their role. Like, okay, today you're going to be the focus, you're going to be the assistant, you're going to be assistant number 1 and 2. So that when the LG comes, everyone's not like, what do I do? What do you mean? It's like everybody knows their role automatically. So you want to make sure that there's organization when it comes to the LG, and make sure they're building a relationship and continues to keep showing the LG stuff. So, do all of you have like hand signals that you use when you have an LG to let your staff know? No? So we have signals that we use, like 1 is LG, 2 is switch. We always switch. 3 is to do external. 4 is to go faster, and 5 is to assume yourself. So we use hand signals. So it helps us with our team. So if my new employee is with somebody that I don't want them to be with, I'll switch. So they know to just, instead of going, right? So you have to have hand signals. And you don't want your newest employee working with LG and not tell you. So please teach them a LG hand signal. Make sure the assistant is bringing more products and bringing up in packaging. Make sure the assistant is doing another hairstyle on the mannequin's hair, and that employees are moving quickly and using teamwork, and that the entire staff is listening carefully. So when you have the LG, obviously we do their hair first, but if they don't want you to touch their hair, you use Jenny the mannequin. But in order to show like how many things you get to 1,000, you have to have how many different styles quick. So all your mannequins that you have at the cart, or all your coworkers' hair, you have to show it in there. Don't just do like one head. It's going to take so much longer. Most LGs won't stay that long. So you have to like have the next style set ready. And they'll take what they like, they'll take out what they don't like, and then the assistant job is to take it to the register. Okay? Practice working with the LG at your location. Especially during competition, there's going to be a lot of LGs, and you would hate to lose an LG because you were helping someone for $300 and your other employee had the LG. They've only sold 500. So please teach your staff to also direct the LG. You have to direct your staff. You have to make sure that they're doing teamwork and that someone's ringing up and someone keeps showing and someone's doing another style on the mannequin's hair. And someone's switching with you. And of course, listening. If they like, what colors they like, what don't they like. If you try to convince the LG, they usually don't like it. LGs, you don't really need to convince too much. You just need to show. They're going to tell you, no, yes, okay, I like that. There's not much convincing. It's about showing, and it's about quantity. So how to teach directing the LG is you want to teach them hand signals like I said. Practice speed by timing yourself. Have them practice speed during downtime. Teach them the hair formulas to implement with all LG customers. I know certain locations like to use certain formulas, hairstyles, so make sure all your girls know how to do the styles and what the formula is. Teach them what is a set of accessories on a board with all the colors, so that they can bring it all at one time. Because you don't have time to bring like the mini one, and then they run back, and then the bread, and then they run back. It's like, just bring everything. It's easier, and then the customer looks at it as a set versus individual pieces. Designate roles ahead of time, like I said, and then you want to alternate the roles for practice. So don't always have the same people being the assistant or the focus. You have to alternate so that everybody gets practice doing both roles. I know it's easy to always have the manager owner be the focus of the LG, but you also want them to have practice on that because you're not, in case you're not there, that they can do 1,000 without you. So they have to practice not always being the assistant. You have to alternate the roles. So then that way they can see what they need to practice on, their weaknesses in each role, not just an assistant's role. Practice bringing up a big sale, because this, you wouldn't think it's a big deal, bringing up, but it is, because they have to make sure they bring up everything. I mean, I think that's probably like most important is bringing up, because when we sell to an LG, it's in sets. So they're not used to doing like a box of mini things. They're gonna like type in like individually. I don't know how they type it in the POS, but they have to learn how to change the price when it's a set, how to change the quantity, you know. And practices is like you have one side of the board that they want, and then you have the other side that has not been rung up yet. So what they do is they put everything on one side that the customer wants, and they switch it over to the side they already rung up, so that you don't get double people ringing up twice. And the person who's ringing up has to be the person ringing up. Don't switch people ringing up, because you're going to get one person rung it up, one person didn't. I already rung it up, and then it's going to be all confusing. One person is designated to stay there and ring up, and then transfer it from board to board. So there's no confusion of what didn't get rung up, what got rung up. So that actually takes practice, because they're not used to ringing up over $1,000 worth of stuff. And they have to ring up fast. Have employees go to the higher end stores. So what we do for our new staff, if because they don't know like who has money or how much things are, we make them go into the high end stores. And we make them tell us like, what did you notice? Or how much was that bag? So that they're familiar with all the new brands. They know how much that bag is, so when you do external, oh my god, that person paid like $15,000 for their Hermes bag or whatever. They have to know the name brands. And you know, the girls that work there aren't going to know those things. They actually have to be taught how much those bags are, or how much the Ferragamo shoes are. So they have to go on like an excursion, field trip, give us a report. What did you notice? How did the LG act? What were they wearing? How were the salespeople? So that they're familiar with the environment of the LG. Okay? Because they're probably going to shop at Forever 21. And they don't know like how much, like if a person's walking by, they don't know that bag's like 20,000. So they have to be aware of how much things are. So how you practice the LG is send them out to the LG stores. Place them on the specific roles and protocol for an LG. So after you've reviewed and you've actually practiced each focus, assistant, scenario, then you have to have them review and obviously let them tell you, okay, what is the assistant doing in LG? What does focus do? What is your job? You know, how do you know it's an LG? What hand signal are you going to use? Let them tell you, and it's going to be robotic. They're not going to think twice. When they see an LG, they're just going to go. Okay, the people that are scared is because they're not properly trained or to know how to handle it. So that's what we have to do. Directing, helping the right customer. Make sure hand signals are being used to communicate, like switching, like I said. Managers and owners are the ones that are working with the LG if they're there. They're the ones also working with the ones spending the most. And they're the ones that are have to be paired up with the right customer. So for example, if there's a language barrier, make sure that you have the right employee with that right person. But you know, a lot of the new people, they don't know that that person has a lot of money, and they'll just stick with it. And they'll just keep showing and not even tell us that they have this person that can spend until that person is gone. So you really have to teach them on helping the right customer. Like, I need you to switch with her. I need you to go back to her customer. I need you to stick with your customer. And help them make sure they're helping the right person. So how do you teach them that? Is teach them the hand signals to communicate. Teach them the signs of an LG. Have them point what they see as the right customer. You know, you need to ask them, how do you know that's the right customer? What makes you think that that's the right customer? Have them list what are the correct reactions a customer should have, such as commenting on how beautiful it is or interested to know how to do a style. So if you have a customer that says, oh my God, it's so pretty, how did you do it? Can you show me again? They have to know that that's a sign, that that customer is interested. So do you want your new person working with that person right away, or do you want to switch and be there? So all those things, they have to know the reaction of the customer. If the customer is asking, how did you do it, or what is it? What kind of clip is that? They're interested. So now it's your job to upsell or close the sale. The new employee is not going to know that. So that's why we have to help them to know how to help the right people. Practice different scenarios of an interested customer and a non-interested customer. They have to know the difference, who's not interested. So they don't spend like half an hour trying to convince something when that person just is not interested. When do they stop showing? Versus a customer that is very interested, but you don't show enough. Right? It's like, you have a customer that's interested, but you're only showing like one thing. And you keep showing that thing over and over and over because you're just so excited you're going to post something. And you're like, oh my God, is that all you showed her? And then you get the ones that can't afford anything and they're not interested, but you keep showing and you keep showing more, and they're like, I just told you. So they have to know how to distinguish between the right person and the wrong person, and when to